of the People's National Convention (PNC), Honorable David Apasera, has rejected the outcome of the party's National Delegate Conference, held on September 7, 2024, citing constitutional violation and fraudulent practices, he said. In a press conference held on September 8, 2024, Apasera expressed his disappointment and concern over the Electoral Commission's decision to proceed with the election despite an injunction summon filed by the Northeast Regional Secretary of PNC. Apasera stated that EC's actions were in clear violation of the party's constitution and the 1992 Constitution of Ghana, which requires political parties to have a national character in nature. He emphasized that the election cannot be considered free and fair when only a few regions participated, with some recording as low as 40 or 52 voters' participation. He said,
"To our surprise, we woke up in the early hours of the 7th September 2024, that was yesterday, to hear that electoral officials were arriving at polling centers with ballot boxes. So we called the Electoral Commission officials at the head office, and they said the elections would be held on the 10th of September. That's Tuesday next week. Upon inquiries from the regions, we were told the electoral officials had carried their ballot boxes away. At about 11 a.m., thereabout, I called Mr. Kisi of the Electoral Commission personally, and he reassured me that the Congress would be supervised on the 10th, Tuesday, 10th September 2024. Now, these assurances were relayed to our party delegates and my supporters. I told them to go and rest. The election will be on Tuesday, 10th. We were, however, surprised when about 12 noon, the EC officials had returned and started calling people to come around and they'll conduct the elections. This is just like they were telling me, tell your supporters to go home, tell them to go home. Meanwhile, they were in touch with somebody and telling that person, tell your supporters to stay, tell your supporters to stay. This was after party members were all asked to return home and to participate in the elections on the 10th. Ladies and gentlemen, it would surprise you to note that some of the regions in which election continued, they recorded as low as 40 or 52 voter participation. This is a national congress. In Tamale particularly, with about 18 constituencies, just as low as that figure voted. And I can tell everybody in confidence that the delegates, no delegate came from a constituency to vote. The people were picked from the streets. And even people who had decided to join other parties. And the regional chairman who was suspended, the regional secretary who have been sacked because they had been with somebody forming a new party. They were all there to vote. Ladies and gentlemen, can this be regarded as a free and fair election? And others went with a party member to compile or to pack up the ballot papers. And he was given the ballot papers to carry single-handedly to the airport and transport them to the regions. Somebody who is a contender. And somebody who is running errands for my main contender had been given the ballot box and went to the printing house with them, packed the ballot papers. He carried them to the airport to transport. Only God knows if ballots were not taken out for the purpose of rigging these elections. To all intents and purposes, yesterday's purported election was fraudulent, lopsided, and can never be free and fair. Ladies and gentlemen, I am aware that Article 55(4) of the 1992 Constitution requires political parties to have a national character. This means that a political party cannot conduct elections and have Electoral Commission declare the said elections when other regions had not participated at all in such an election. Yes, Western region didn't vote at all. They had gone home. Western North didn't vote at all. They had gone home. Northern region didn't vote at all. They had gone home. And I understand Central too, they didn't vote. Now, it is a very sad thing that we will have this nature. At our level, the EC will do what they have done. This means that a political party cannot conduct elections and have Electoral Commission declare the elections when other regions are not at all in such an election. Similarly, no person can be declared winner of any presidential election in Ghana in an election which is only participated by a few or some regions, whilst leaving the rest of the regions out of their constitutional right to vote. In fact, here I would say the number of constituencies with delegates of 14 each that didn't vote would amount to more than 2/3 of the constituencies in Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, this conduct by the EC to breach its own rules and proceed to conduct and supervise the election for our party on the face of an injunction summons has now put our party in a contemptuous situation. It has also created further division in our party. Ladies and gentlemen, the purpose and outcome of the said elections cannot be said to be free and fair, and cannot be regarded as constitutional and democratic. I therefore reject the outcome of the elections as held on the 7th of September 2024, and will do everything possible to ensure that the right thing is done under the spirit of the 1992 Constitution of Ghana. I remain a bona fide leader of the PNC until a properly supervised National Delegate Congress is held by the PNC. That we shall work hard to ensure that the PNC fields a presidential candidate for the 2024 elections. Because if some people didn't just come at all, they couldn't come. Look at Accra, Greater Accra. How many people came? I understand even 7 constituencies came here. They couldn't find their names. The regional chairman had been chased off with his general secretary. And apparently the voter album had been changed. So 7 people came here. Even some came in a car. They couldn't see their names to vote. And so if there was rigging at all, you wouldn't know. There could be that evidence. But the evidence of it is that people who have been put in their album, and we emphasize That's why we took a long time, because previously they picked people from the streets to vote. And we thought that that was why the party was sinking. You should go to the constituency and have executives. So we insisted, and we gave every region support, financial support to do it.
Okay.
And every region, including Accra, had their album. So there is no way that the delegates from a constituency will come and not see their name, except that the document has been changed. Nobody went to the constituencies for them to re-elect or to affirm or acclaim executives. And you should know that people are not always there. Some shift to other parties. Some die off. I mean, we are human. Some are dead, and so they must be replaced. Some are tired. They don't want to continue. They must be replaced. And that never happened for over the years. So we knew that in such a situation, those who were not there, those who had left, who filled their positions, certainly is people from the streets. Certainly they will be cited in whatever legal thing that I'm going to do. EC is going to be cited. It's a very unfortunate thing, and I never wanted to go on that tangent, because there is a serious election ahead, a national election. And if we begin to paint Electoral Commission in the picture that they have, they deserve for what they did yesterday, it will jeopardize our own standing. Either until we go to a proper Congress, National Congress, and I am voted out. And in fact, I knew, I had gone around, because of this court injunction thing. I was in Kumasi the night before. I've gone round. There is nothing that didn't tell me I will win the elections. There is nothing to declare chairman and leaders of the party. What is the use of the Electoral Commission supervising elections? The Electoral Commission is the right body that declares, nobody else. This is the kind of thing that is happening, and I will not give a damn to it.
Is that against your party's constitution?
How can the Congress committee person pronounce who is the leader of a party? What status? Illegalities. That is bordering on something you can't even describe. And so I will not sit down and allow that to happen. I will not sit down and allow that to happen under my supervision as leader of the party. I am doing this in the interest not only of PNC, but in the interest of the Republic of Ghana. Ghanaians, let's resist every wrongdoing wherever it is. Otherwise, they will fester and grow and overwhelm us in this country. Leaves much to be desired. From my point of view now, they told me you have to pay us 92,458 cedis. This is the check. And you must pay this before we go and conduct the elections.
Did you pay?
This is the check. They didn't tell us we will pay in check. So on Friday, my treasurer went there to pay. They said, no, go and put it in check. So we came back and we wrote the check. But that time was late to go and give them. And they said, unless the party pays them, they are not going to conduct the election. So who paid them the money? Who paid them the money? The money didn't pass through the party. So who paid them? Is that a bribe? Or is official payment in the name of PNC? But right now, what has been done is like a conspiracy that has been hatched with courtesies that should not have been part of it to do what they did. And I will not sit down and allow them. I had to do it. So if the EC will still ignore court court decisions or court the risks that will be filed against them, and they still go ahead. Well, the law is there, and I believe that justice will prevail in Ghana.
Okay.
The person get a car and come. How is the person coming? Even here, if you go far away to Ningo Pram Pram, and you say around 12, come now and vote. How are they getting here? That is not how we organize things. And so to be tricked, to get my vote, my supporters tricked out of the place, and then you come and say you have won. Please, please, that cannot be. You don't condone criminality, illegalities to build a society. You don't condone it. You don't condone it at all. And because we condone such things, that is why Ghana is sinking. You don't condone illegalities and criminalities to build a party. You build it on sound footing. In fact, yesterday, if I had decided that let my supporters come to these grounds, there would have been bloodbath. How would that have been? Maybe somebody would have lost his life. And if I had instigated that across the country, it would have been terrible. So how do you build a party like that? Based on illegalities and criminalities, let me maneuver my way, come and sit down. 4 years ago when I was elected, clean, nobody could contest. That is how we run parties. Not maneuvering, manipulating, going as far as to bribing. Or, yes, bribing organs that be to participate in the system. Because how would they? How would anybody participate in the system to trick my supporters out of the voting centers? Yes, I think that I would not be far from saying that.
Thank you for watching Nation One TV. Kindly subscribe for more news updates.